good morning. Happy time zone, whichever. How's go? How goes things and stuff and such? I made the pride flags smaller in the thing so we could fit more of them. Alright, let's get some music going. Hello! Good morning. Alright, we're gonna keep working on Joe Craven's intro, because it's not actually complete yet. Despite the fact that we deployed it yesterday, it's still not actually complete. We need to add some motion to a few more parts of it. Though how'd the stream go yesterday? Did it go dangerously? Do I put this gigantic joystick? Oh, it's not in the way. This thing is like massive. Okay, here. You know what? I'm just gonna put it right down here. Nope, there's no room there. There's no. This joystick is too big. Too big. Alright, I'm gonna put it back here? No? Oh, it's gonna fall over if I do that. Alright, give me a second. We're not quite ready yet. And yet you're getting an extension. It's true. It's not big enough for some things. I'm also getting a proper mount for it, so it won't be in the way. Instead of having to like crudely mount it to my desk with a C-clamp. Okay. Let's do some heckin' blendering. Get this over here. But yeah. How was Elite Dangerous? Was it good? Do we want to continue doing more Elite Dangerous streams? Let's see. This is gonna be a little bit tricky here. Haven't watched the VOD. Good morning, Shar! How goes the packing and stuff, I guess? It's cool? Alright, awesome. It's not a full-length one. Yeah, no, it's the mounts are actually adjustable for the desk mounts. There's gonna be they're not gonna be Elite Dangerous from now on. We're gonna do a few of them maybe. The game hasn't completely addicted us. It's time I start scheduling a U-Haul, movers, utility switchover, etc. Ooh, yeah, the utility switchover is my least favorite part, personally. That's partially because everything else I can, like all the truck and everything I always handle that when I move, because I have truck, and a trailer. I played Project Wingman. I went through the tutorial. Just haven't played it on stream yet. Happy Monday, among other things. I can feel the disdain in your words here. Why is her antenna? What? What the hell? Who bent Rin's antenna? I mean, not that it makes much difference, but... Like, was there some piece of foreground that we had? No? No, she's really far in the foreground. Okay. And how did this happen? So we have to move it back along that line now. I'm trying to remember how to do that. Basically, don't want it to move in cam. We don't want it to move in cam space. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. Alright. So the armature. There we go. There's the old armature. We gotta add more. I think we got actually rig this stuff, right? Yeah, okay. Whee. I'm gonna add some of the hair back here and also the soda can and then her talons and her tail. Metal gets weaker the more you bend it back and forth. Yeah, but like springs exist, you know? They go back and forth all the time. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. She's still a strong NHP girl. Well, I mean, this is just her subaltern anyway, so like whatever. As though she hasn't had to replace those like multiple times. You know, she actually has a subaltern self-destruct charge inside of it. She's just like carrying around a bomb everywhere she goes, basically. How did... So I was but far away, wide, obscure and disarray. We're gonna have to be pretty subtle about the motion here. Hey, Melissa Bo for hype. Just like the Terminator. Are you referencing one of the Terminator movies that we don't acknowledge? Jen, how dare you? Oh, hey, Callie. Is this the right... Actually, we should probably have it pivot up at her wrist, like this. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay. boy. We got a somewhat complicated animation here already. She's just nodding her head back and forth. Like, why is this so complicated? Why can't I make these stupid things snap to each other? And what point is it to have, like, the thing... Oh my god, okay. Snap to frame. Bam. Okay. Dude! Hang on a second. Stop it! Oh my god. Every time they jump up back there, they knock stuff over, and, like, I have to go figure out what they knocked over this time. Cats need to learn how to chill. Oh, that's the cat cam. Sorry. Does she have that problem? She almost definitely has that problem. She is someone who loves to disassemble and reassemble things. So yeah, definitely, 100%, absolutely. She would always do that. Probably be like disassembling and reassembling her hand constantly, just to fidget with. Okay, let's hop into the graph editor. Drink can. We're gonna get rid of all of the. Dang it! We did it with quaternions again. We just need Euler rotation for this. All right. Well, let's delete all those keyframes that we just made and restart. Okay. XYZ Euler. Whoop. Insert. Go like right in the middle, and we'll. Shoot! I was just inserting keyframes where I didn't need to. Oh my god. Okay. Insert. Select all of this. Go over here. Deselect all of that. Insert. Go to the middle. Rotate. Insert. Make sure it doesn't flip through anything. Okay, now I gotta make it cycle. Let's also get rid of all the things that we're not using. Oop. I need to learn how keying sets work, I think. Can she remotely control her hand? Her entire body is remotely controlled. So, yes, I guess. Okay, right, so we need to hop into the graph editor and then select that, and then we're gonna go hop to the modifiers tab, add modifier, cycles. And now it's gonna loop that over and over and over again for all eternity. Alright, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now we just gotta do that for the rest of them. How do the leggies look when we... Okay, it's not skinned yet. Also not skinned yet. Let's just handle the skinning then. We got... What bone is that? That is tail tip. I can't... Tail tip. Alright, and then we're gonna assign this and this and this to tail tip. And should be able to run it. Yeah, that looks okay. It's kind of... we need to make it not affect this area here. Just gonna assign all of this to root at 100%. Move that right on in there. Okay, I want to do it. Now it looks like ask for another reason. Because it's all pinching in there and everything. Oh my god. Oh, cool! I made it even worse! Maybe we'll just have it go like this. And not go like that. You have a set time when you start stream on Sundays? Yeah. 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. Been pretty consistent about that. There's also on the stream schedule on my website. And on the Owncast, and on Twitch. Ow. Wah, wah, wah. Alright, that's probably the best that we're going to be able to do here. Yeah, good enough. We don't need to rotate the rest of it. No, it would actually be really, really hard because of the way the transparency works here. So the morning art streams have been shifting around a bunch because of my work schedule. They've kind of stabilized now that European daylight savings is in effect. But yeah, Sunday streams have pretty much always started at 2:30 p.m. I don't know if I've ever changed that. I think I might have always streamed at that time. Let's find out. There's like an average stream. I guess it might just be average stream length for the Sunday streams on this. Hours streamed on average. No, I guess not. But yeah, if you head to twitch.tv/KiriArtemisVT, you will see in the schedule section, which is hard to find, Schedule, 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 schedule. Schedule. There we go. There we go. Sunday, 2:30 p.m. Yeah, so that's been there for a very, very, very long time, like that. I think some of my earliest streams, I think that's the time that I initially picked, and then I just stuck with it for my Sunday streams. It seems weird to start at like half after an hour, right? But it's just been where. Here, let's also head over to my VODs really quick. I'm gonna scroll to the very end of my VODs. Because there used to be a thing that on there showing what my local time was. We got the stream where I played the entirety of Simon Tatham's Puzzle Collection. And let's see. Oh my god, the model was so janky back then. Look at the face tracking. Ah, it's so bad. Ah, but it's gonna show the local time up here in the ticker. I think it's coming up. Nope, there's the since last joke. Let's see, friendly fire incidents. There we go. Time, Pacific time, 2:42. So I was a little late that day. When did this publish? 2 years ago. Also it says what time I do the streams right there too. Wow, my model looked terrible back then. Ah. I think I was still using... Was I still using BC Face? I think I was. You can tell by the fact that the mouth had, like, one blend shape. Also, you could throw Cacodemons at me. Anyway, I'm not going to turn on the audio because I don't want to hear what my voice sounded like back then. That's the oldest VOD that I have on the thing, though. 2 years ago. Is this a visual equivalent of hearing your voice in a recording? Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Well, it's just like, I mean, the model's been through so much iteration, and so has the software, right? Because, like, I didn't used to have all these blend shapes, and it didn't used to be this smooth tracking, and the eyes were shaped differently initially, and, like, later on down the road, probably gonna cringe at what my hand tracking, face tracking, and stuff looks like now, so... It's 8:30, or sorry, it's 8 a.m. Pacific time every weekday morning and 2:30 p.m. on Sundays. And if I'm going to be late, I'll usually just alert the Discord. I'll just say it in the general chat what's happening. the hair. Got all the toe 1 and toe 2. Now we just gotta do the skinning and then the animation. But we have all the bones in place. Which one is this again? Hair 9, let's do hair 8. Hair 8.001 and hair 8.002. Oops. Let's just max this out for the forget how the process that I was doing for this. Say that's 50%. Oh. What? There we go. Okay. Does that wiggle reasonably well? Ugh. It, ugh. Ah! That don't look good. It don't look good. Nope. Yep. On to the weight paint mode. We have to blend. Blend. There's our problem. Well, one of them anyway. I'll remove that influence entirely from there. So I'm gonna use the blend tool and magically fix everything. I just made it worse. And no illusion sides of me, and matches on purchase me. Can't find my peace. The side won't be on the somewhere outside is evolution standing by. One in a million is just a damn it! Crowds are still alone. The last of its kind is the one with the mind of its own. And the lies are still unknown. I look at you and see what I hate so in myself. I urge to vanquish this from me. So yet despite okay, how's that gonna dang it, how's that going to there we go. I think we have to pivot these at a different spot. See through the trial of destiny. Time and law on both my enemies. That's a little bit better. We definitely need to, like, just need to fix the translation on this. Sometimes you just gotta be explicit about your triangles, you know? Fungles. There, okay, that'll do. Get to animating that in a bit. Alright, next bone, we got hair 9. So we're gonna add groups. Hair 9.001. Hair 9.002. This is surprisingly challenging. What if we just like jump directly into weight painting mode instead of trying to assign this stuff manually? Oh, that's not good. Also, I think we're chopping off a little bit of the ear antenna here, so we gotta fix that too. Okay. These need explicit triangulation. So the issue here is that it's triangulating this in across like the wrong axis. Like it when we draw quads, we're actually drawing triangles. Surprise! Everything is triangles in computer graphics, except when it's not. Like, you know, sine distance fields and all that, voxels and whatever. But when we draw quads or triangle, yes, quads are two triangles. Quads are two triangles. And sometimes, hang on a second. Sometimes we're gonna get derailed and talk about some other stuff. Let's start up the note-taking app. Sometimes there's a quad, and it gets turned into a where's the ruler? I don't know how to do straight lines anymore. I can't do very much straight because, you know, obvious reasons. Oh, there's lines. So a lot of the time, Blender will just be like, you know what, we're gonna turn it into two triangles. So you got a quad, we're gonna render it. It's now two triangles. But sometimes it's like, but wait, that looks like butt when you try to bend it in a certain way, right? Which we were seeing right here. Like with this one, you see, so because it's doing a line that goes from like here to here. And we want like that. So like when here, let me try to reproduce the shape that we had there. We had a shape like this. And we had a line going like this, right? And so as this moved inwards, like down to here, kind of relatively, this would start looking real bad because the texture would get like all distorted. Because like this part of the texture, looks normal. It looks like a normal quad. This one gets squished, right? This is still representing a quad on the texture itself, right? There's still a rectangular area there. So now like what you would see on the texture is something like that, and then, you know, but this entire area right here is now being represented in this little sliver right here, or this entire area right here is being represented in a more normal area. So how do we fix that? Well, we make it so that it triangulates a different way. Triangulate. And so it goes like that instead. And now we have this. Get rid of all this. Or here, let's just erase all of this stuff in here. All right. So if we have a pen tool, if we have this, then when that goes inwards like that, then it's going to turn into, something that looks like this, which is still much more evenly spaced looking triangles. So that's what I did here. Is I made my own triangles because the automatic triangulation wasn't looking good. You seen that coffee mug that's slanted and says, "I'm so gay I can't even drink straight"? That sounds cute. I like my lesbian snake mug. I need to take that to the I need to take it to the coffee shop that I go to, because the coffee shop is like, you should bring your own mug and we'll stop charging you for plastic or for paper cups. Also, I'm pretty sure that like every single person working there is some kind of, you know, LGBTQ member. They'd probably appreciate the lesbian snake mug. There's a femme presenting individual there that said they liked my watch, which was has like a trans pride wristband on it. Okay, so we got all the hair, we got the tail. Did we get the tail tip? We did get the tail tip. Now we just gotta do the toes. Again, it's not that kind of stream. Mind out of the gutter, come on. These are, oh, that's not really set up to do that. Or is it? Wait a minute. This is gonna be real hard. You animating in Blender? Yep. That's the plan. But we didn't really think about... Okay, so I think this part would be just fine, but the other toe would be a little bit messed up, because we have to, like, we basically have to reconstruct the background behind this, I think. You know what? Let's do it. We're gonna cut off this toe. Don't worry, she's a robot. It's fine. Actually, we're gonna use the rip feature, the vertex rip feature. Don't worry, it's fine. She's a robot. She's not exactly a robot. She's a non-human person. So here we go. We're gonna have this one toe, and we're gonna take this entire group. We're actually gonna move it up closer to the camera. So from the camera's point of view, actually wait. Yeah. Camera's orthographic, so we can just move it from the side here. Oh, hold on. We gotta rip this part off too. Why does it never rip the way that I want it to? God, it's so frustrating. Go and merge it back together. Wouldn't she just be a person? Yeah, but she's a non-human person. Robot LARPer. I mean, she has a robot body. She is technically like a digital entity of sorts, so... Alright, we have toe separation. Just gonna move that in front. We're gonna hide it, and then we're gonna basically just try to stretch all this stuff back over to act as background. Okay, and so basically now we're gonna... You like this music? Violet Pony is very, very good. I also like this music quite a lot.
Every creature in the crowd makes some noise and make it loud. Introducing tonight's special guest, it's Shelly, the Emperor
Okay, I think what I'm gonna do... I'm gonna do something really weird. I'm gonna duplicate part of this. We're gonna have to split off that entire section too, aren't we? Doing a very precarious little dance to keep all of our UVs in the same area, and then we are going to completely ignore that. I'm gonna like patch this, make it look like... Looks kind of like ass. I'm not gonna lie. Feels like something at the MagWest pool party. Just because kind of jazzy like Super Soul Bros. Super Soul Bros always plays the MagWest pool party. Okay, so again we have to go in with the triangulation, like manual triangulation most likely, and fix up all this stuff going on here. Because we got like one big-ass Ingon right here. I wonder if we can just split this up and see if it can act like an accordion. This is some of the messiest topology I've ever done, but if the results look okay, then we're fine. Okay, first let's see how this deforms. Oops. I'm just kind of like blend out those UVs now, or those weights. Ooh, wow, that is not good. Hello? Is this the blend brush? Okay, we're turning on the viewport display for the wireframe. There we go. Now I can actually see where I'm aiming, and it doesn't matter because it's not letting me edit those anyway. Ugh, ugh. I think Blender is actually, like, offended at my topology at the moment. I think it's like, what are you even trying to do, Carrie? What are you doing? What are you doing? Turn that into a grid. And it's like, fine. Turn it into a stupid grid. Just because you asked so nicely, Blender. Actually, we'll leave those right there. Okay. Okay, now can we actually paint the weights, though? It is still not letting us paint weights upon those actually, wait. Do we have get it weight? We might just not have anything else assigned there. We need to go back all the way back to the yep, there it is. Because the auto normalize is just normalizing it back. That makes sense. Okay. Now we have a proper battle between the two of these. And we can just smooth. Hey, Lightman, how's it going? This apology is asked. Session terminated. Oh, I finally saw the new Tron movie. It's not good. I'm just gonna leave that right there and not acknowledge that I even talked about it now. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. You can just kind of go like this with the claws for the animation. How about this one? Okay, you need to take this entire section here. Oops. This is gonna be toe 1. We might get away with just animating this. That is not animating. Why is that? Why that no? Toe 1. A sign. It almost works. We have to add some stuff in the background though, behind it. I liked Tron Legacy. Just to be clear, I want to put that out there as you know, full disclosure, right? The one with the Daft Punk soundtrack, pretty dang good in my opinion. I liked it. But not even the soundtrack by Nine Inch Nails could save Ares, unfortunately. Just gonna add another little patch of brown under here. That's what that looks like. I liked Legacy, but the soundtrack was the best part. That's fair. That's fair. I liked it. I thought it was fun, but it's like it's not a great movie, but it is fun. Look, I'm doing line art in Blender. It's like throwing together just little patches. There's like a proper way that I could do that if I really wanted to like split everything into like all these different layers and stuff, but I don't want to bother. So we're just gonna have this. I'm gonna fake that connective tissue there. Just so we can have this on top of it. Though, now that I think of it, hang on a second. Let's take our little line art black bar and stick it right down here too, so we can... Just filling an area behind the toe, so when it moves, there's something there. There we go. I think that works. Oof. Okay, let's get to animating. So we gotta animate all the hair back here, the tail tip, and then those claws. Already got pretty much everything else. So I'm gonna select again. I'm using like the other frames. Frame 183 is where we are ending all of our animations. So we have to loop everything on frame 183. Skipping the shadow. Based on the light direction and based on the direction that she's moving her claws, there's not significant like variation in the shadow. It's just gonna be like this, right? And like this. Not a significant enough variation in the shadow for it to matter. Okay. So we're gonna insert keyframes like that. This is gonna be the rest position for that, and the same for the hair. They're all gonna start at their rest positions, and then as she tilts her head forward, it's going to... The hair is going to be different because it's going to have all kinds of weird secondary motion. Let's just concentrate on this stuff for now. So we're going to go up to frame 183. And actually, we're gonna duplicate all of these frames, including the hair ones that we just did. We're gonna duplicate all of that stuff up to frame 183. This is how we achieve our loop. Okay, now we just have to add... For a lot of these, I think we can just, like, kind of rotate in and... Or, like, do a little tiny minor rotation like that. We're gonna have these ones rotate out. Actually... Yeah, they'll rotate out like that. And so we have an animation now that looks like... Just looks like that. Pretty subtle. And we have to loop it, of course, too. But I think that's the toes taken care of. The tail tip. It will go, like, right in the middle, and we'll have it just kind of... Just do that. Nothing too fancy there. The hair, that's where things get more complicated. She tilts her head forward and then back, and so we actually need to respond both to the head tilting forward and have the hair kind of go down like this a bit. Oops. And then as she comes back up, the hair has to like kind of tilt back up a little bit like this. Let's try that. Tilt tilt forward, goes down. Tilt back, goes up. Okay, we don't have the looping set up yet. So tilt forward. I think when we tilt forward, it goes a little bit too far down. So we're going to rotate that back up a bit. Alright, same for the other one. I'm just going to do pretty much the same thing. Tilt that down like that. Insert keyframe. In fact, we're going to take both of these and go up to the next keyframe here. Rotate up. Insert keyframe. Alright, same for this one. Let's do it at the exact same intervals because those seem to work pretty well. Rotate down a little bit like that. Insert. Nice. Cool. Found that the graph editor, once you decipher the tangle of wires, can be pretty good for smooth motions. I have a very hard time with the graph editor, because when I look at the graph... like, I mean, every time I look at... Like, this is a simple animation, and this is, like, just visual noise to me. Like, I understand what's going on here, kind of, like, in theory, right? I understand the math behind this. I know what these numbers mean, but there is nothing that I can, like, visually parse from this. I'll go into this the way I'll go into, like, the disassembly of a program, right? This is when I really don't understand what's going on, or I just need to adjust maybe some interpolation types, because a lot of the time I need to switch them to linear. But aside from that, like, I don't know how to touch this. This is a lot. So yeah, this is... I know what's going on here, but I still don't know how to use it in a reasonable way. Alright, let's see. So the whole animation together now. Okay, let's go and start add some looping. Gotta go into the... Oh no, we did it with quaternions, like frickin' butts! We did all of those with quaternions, didn't we? Alright, well, let's just see if we can loop the quaternions. Add modifier. No, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get rid of all these other ones that we don't need. I just want, because we're just doing rotation on one axis. We don't need quaternions. But I think I know what must be done. We're gonna do a copy to, oh wait, that one has Euler rotation on it. Good. Okay, some of these are Euler, some of these are quaternion. Looks like all the hair. Oh, probably because we copied and pasted the hair to position it. So actually, we only have quaternion rotations on. Okay, thank goodness it's none of the hair stuff, because that's the complicated one to do. It's just this. So. So we'll just redo the animation for these three. Or I'm gonna add a modifier, cycles, and let's just see if we can like copy this to everything. Yeah. Copy to selected. Can I not do copy to selected here? Needs some work.
We're the same.
Copy F modifiers. Paste F modifiers. Okay.
She staggered
Paste.
back from her mirror.
Paste.
Eyes red as the moon.
Paste.
They
Because with the quaternion rotation, we have to do it for like every single individual channel to make it cycle.
wolf
Where
cry.
with the Euler rotation, that one's interesting. With the Euler rotation, we only have to do the one axis. All right, let's see if those loop properly. Yep, those loop properly. Cool. Oh. Why do these have... Wait, why do these have rotation on other axes? These should all just be z-axis rotations. Alright, whatever. We'll just paste it to every single individual one of these. Stupid no copy to selected, you face. Quaternions are easy. They're just, you just imagine them as a point along the surface of a four-dimensional, like, unit-sized sphere. For representations of rotations, anyway. Easy peasy, right? Okay, let's see how that works. Yep, that looks good. Alright, let's make sure everything loops together. I'm a three-dimensional being, so it's difficult to conceptualize. There's a small set of people who actually understand quaternions, and they're like aeronautics, like aerospace engineers and game developers. So yeah, the important part is when you are, when you're trying to find a path across that sphere, right? If every point along that 4D sphere represents an orientation, then in order to get from one orientation to another, you need to traverse across the surface of that sphere, right? You don't go through the sphere, you go across the surface of the sphere. Kind of like walking around a planet or something. And to do that, you use a bit of math called spherical linear interpolation, or SLERP. S-L-E-R-P. Right. And that's how you interpolate quaternions. That's how you interpolate orientations in the shortest path, where you can't really do that with Euler rotations. I could probably demonstrate that in Jodot pretty easily. Anyway, I think we're actually done here. I think we got all the animation work in. I could switch to Jodot and demo that. Like what happens when you try to interpolate between... Sabine! Oh, God. Can't take you anywhere. You don't fit in most buildings, so you know. Baller stream background. I mean, it's gonna be. It's already gonna be. This is the incomplete version of it. It's the intro for Junkraven streams. There's also she's got a theme song in the works. We have the short version that was originally going to be my outro theme, but then I ended up not using it as an outro theme. And so she's just claiming that as an intro, but the original composer has to go back and lengthen the song. So. You can use it on Matrix. Just saying. Just saying. And the Matrix will translate over to the Discord space. Or the Matrix server will translate to the Discord space. Wait, hold on. God, people on Fetty are still so desperate to find an alternative to Matrix. I understand why. We just had a Matrix moderation thing that we had to do yesterday. It was kind of a mess. Mostly because we never have to do Matrix moderation, but... Yeah, so people are recommending like all kinds of different things. They're working on like different protocols and stuff, and it's like it's an alternative to Matrix because Matrix is a pain in the butt and too complicated and blah blah blah. It's like a lot of these projects are going to end up re-implementing Matrix anyway. I feel like, and I mean Matrix has a lot of problems with it, but it could maybe be corrected with a redo of sorts, but I don't know. A lot of the like, I'm gonna throw my hands in the air and do something different because Matrix is too hard. It's like this is not gonna end well. All those projects are not gonna end well, I think. I still consider Matrix to be like the least bad option for us. Yeah. Also, the XKCD standards comic. I've been using IRC a little bit more lately. I'm just because I want to be in a few like IRC channels for projects that I'm interested in. So like White Quark from Treehouse.systems is forking KeyPass XC, which is what I use for some passwords and stuff, because KeyPass XC decided to start allowing like slop code in. So for kind of a security critical thing, this sounds like a really, really bad plan. So White Quark forked it. White Quark from Betty. And there's an IRC channel where all the development is, or all the discussion and development stuff is happening on, and it's on librera.chat. And so I'm actually, I wouldn't say active there, but I exist there. I'm also in the Blender and Krita channels there. Any IRC clients you recommend? That's a little hard because... like, it depends on your situation, right? If you have access to a bouncer, like a server that you can run a bouncer on, like a VPS or something, then your options are wide open. You have tons and tons of things that you can do. On the other hand, if you don't have access to a bouncer, then your options are a lot more limited. I personally like I use a bouncer web interface IRC client called The Lounge. It's alright. It hasn't been updated in a while, I think. IRC channels are also, yeah, IRC channels are also easily bridged to Matrix. It's true. I should probably get that going at some point. But, yeah, so I use the lounge, which has a nice UI to it and stuff. Let me pull up info about that. This is the lounge. This is what it looks like. It runs in a web page. You have a server running that stays connected to the IRC server for you. Because here's the thing, for anyone who hasn't used IRC before, on IRC, you do not get any messages that are sent while you are not online. You have to be online to receive a message. So if you're in a room, you will not get the room history. Period. Wow, this screenshot is ancient. Just based on this. Anyway. So anyway, yeah, so this runs on a web, on a server, probably like a VPS or something if you have access to one. And then you log into it through the web, and then you get all the messages that happened while you were not there in something that kind of resembles a, you know, Discord-like thing. So yeah, this is what I use. Other IRC clients, the one that I used for a very, very long time was called XChat. Don't use XChat. If you're going to go down that route, there's a client called XChat. I don't know how long it's been since this was updated, but HexChat is a fork of XChat. And as far as I know, is basically the same. Oh, well, maybe the server is not even functioning. Oh geez. Okay, we're gonna close that tab. All right, this is HexChat. It looks like this. If you use HexChat, you will not get, well, asterisk. Within asterisk, you will not get access to any of the chat history and stuff. Now, they're working on this. They're trying to make a thing like IRC v3 that has like message history and stuff like that. We still don't have features like voice chat, image hosting, all that, but you know, they're working on filling in a few of the issues that IRC has. So this is what HexChat looks like. If you combine this with a bouncer like ZNC, then you will have access to chat history. So ZNC is a program, it's a server, it runs in the background, it stores all your IRC history, and then you can log into it with a normal IRC client, and you'll have access to all that history stuff. It's kind of a pain in the butt, if I'm being real. I got these nice little diagrams here, you know. So this is, we got without Z and C, we have all these things connecting to an IRC server. With ZNC, all these things to connect to ZNC and then to IRC server. That's the other nice thing about ZNC is you can have a bunch of clients connected to one single ZNC instance. Which means that if you, because normally in this scenario you'd have to have all these logged in as different users. Which isn't like the worst thing, because you know, people have sat in IRC channels with multiple instances of themselves since the 90s. It's fine, but this makes it more convenient and a little bit closer to what modern chat software is like. If you want to go down the route of console-only chat, there is WeChat. WeChat looks like... That's a very fancy UI for it. WeChat looks like this. It runs in a terminal. This is gonna be hard for new users. Similar to WeChat, there is the original BitchX. I think it's the original. Was BitchX based on something else? I can't remember. Yeah, so there's BitchX, IRC client. There is IRSSI, the IRC client, which is another terminal one. Let's see what this actually looks like. Tutorials and docs, new user guide. There's no screenshots for this. Wait, let's just check out their themes page. IRSSI looks a lot like BitchX. What else? So we covered WeChat, IRSSI, BitchX. If we want to go real far back in time, there is MIRC, which is apparently still around. That's cool. Let's see when the last release was. Oh, hey. 2020, late 2025. Fantastic. Ancient Immortal Tech, yeah. MIRC is my first IRC client. I think it's most people's first IRC client. Let's see, MIRC. Let's do an image search so we can actually see what this looks like. MIRC is a fantastically... Well, it's the one that everyone knows. It looks like this. It uses like an MDI interface. It's Windows only. Sucks, but you can probably run it under Wine if you really wanted to, but I don't know why you would, because there's so many better like Linux IRC clients out there. I think the main reason that people run MIRC these days is probably for nostalgia's sake. Boy howdy, I remember using the heck out of this software. Imagine an era of the internet where this was the window into communicating with all of your friends. That's how I grew up. They used to also, back in the day, it used to show everyone's IP address. That is not a thing it does anymore. That's on the like this the servers mask IP addresses by default now. How many years I've been using Linux? About 25, I think. I started using Linux in probably like 2001 or so. Actually, wait, no, hold on. Gotta go further back than that. Probably would have been the 90s. It was somewhere around the turn of the millennium, I guess. Oh, hello. BitchX is based on wrapper scripts around improving the IRC. Oh, okay, yeah. So there's an even older IRC client that I've never used that BitchX is based on. But yeah, a long time ago. This is how I talk to all my friends on the internet. I forgot you can use Pigeon. Pigeon isn't updated anymore. I would not use this one. I would avoid it. But it does support IRC as one of the protocols. And I think it's gonna look like kind of like that. I think like, do I have it installed right now? Let me see. Can I have it installed? It's not even in the ARC repo. Pigeon hasn't been updated in some time, I believe, but it was originally... Pigeon was originally called GAIM, or GAIM. What are we working on? We're working on an intro animation for Junkraven. Even though it doesn't really seem like it right now. Trust me. Hey Val. Yeah, a lot of people have been trying Linux lately. Thankfully now people are trying. People are trying Linux in an era now where gaming doesn't completely suck on it, like when I was using it initially. But look at this list of like. Come on, open the vision new tab. I'm pretty sure this is the same list of like protocols that it supports. I don't know what I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. This isn't around anymore. I don't know what this is. I don't think this is around anymore, but it keeps that. I know that company keeps getting bought by different things, and I haven't kept track. I don't remember my ICQ number. IRC is still around. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but I do know what this is. So it only supports like 2 modern protocols. Polykill is also slowly adopting Linux. Nice. Pretty sure ICQ isn't still a thing. Okay. I believe you. I just keep hearing, like... Yeah. Look at this. A minimal version of Pigeon for sane XMPP/IRC servers. Nice. I use Pigeon. So Pigeon was originally called Game, or GAIM, or like GNOME AIM, I guess is what they were going for, or GTK AIM or something. AOL went after them for that and was like, no, you don't. You don't call that AIM. And so they renamed it to... Did they rename it directly to Pigeon, or did they name it to something else in between? I know that, like, Firefox went through, like, 3 names. It was originally Phoenix, and then there was something in between, and then it was Firefox. I used Firefox back when it was Phoenix, still. I should actually register MIRC one of these days. God. So yeah, that's the rundown of IRC clients, I guess. I use the lounge. It works. It's fine. I have access to a server, though. If you don't have access to the server, good luck. Yep. I need to render this out, but if I render it out, my stream is gonna lag, so maybe we should start doing some other art. We're only like halfway through the stream now, so we can actually start drawing something again. We can start a new drawing. What do you think we should draw? Should we draw some Yuri? We should probably draw some Yuri. I feel like after spending all that time drawing that one drawing, I have lost started losing my reputation as an internet Yuri artist. All right, should we actually like pose this one out, or should we just go at it? Let's just try going at it. gonna keep going with this pose of like leaning over a railing because I think it's interesting and full of emotion. But this time we're gonna have someone leaning on someone else. Girls kissing is an extremely dynamic pose. That is true, yeah. As a girl who likes kissing other girls. Thank you for adding depth to the... What the hell? Thanks for adding depth to the stream. I don't know why this is working now, because it was actually previously not working. I was just testing it earlier and it was broken, and now... Sorry. I should probably thin down those lines a little bit. It's getting a little bit much. Yeah, I was looking at that this morning, and it was still broken, and now it seems to be working okay, and I don't know why. Actually, no, I did look into it a little bit, and I think I determined that when all the cameras are disabled from being considered like the current camera, it actually switches to just kind of like a camera at the origin sort of view. I think that might be in the newest version of Jodot and not the older version of Jodot that we were using for a long time on the stream. But the fact that it didn't happen right there is really, really weird. The way that it works is that it turns off like the main rendering camera and does these other cameras, and then uses the textures from those to like fill in a textured quad as part of like a UI element, basically. All of a sudden there's cuddling. I mean, often, yeah. That's what this is what Sabine says every night when she gets into bed, and I'm already in bed, and it's like suddenly there's cuddling. Alright. Let's add that railing in. Maybe it's the very same railing. Maybe they're on the same space station as Junkraven. Who knows? It's not very dynamic to just have it, like, straight on like that. So maybe we'll... give it, like, a little bit of an angle. Gotta be going, like, this way. I think that makes it look like we're viewing them from above. I don't really like that. I should have posed this out in Blender. Ooh, this also makes it look kind of like we're viewing them from below. Whatever, we'll figure it out. I'm bad at drawing hands, so obviously hands have to be like the very first thing that we try to detail on this, right? There's just some mess going on here. I don't even know. There's just, yeah, it's gonna be a whole thing. Dang it, I keep selecting the color. It's gonna be a whole thing. And then this arm is gonna be... It's gonna come over here like this. I think that makes a forearm look really, really long. Like we have like this length and then this length, and I selected this stupid color again. Oh my god. I'll have to reduce that down a bunch. Let's go. Let's have the other arm kind of like embedded in there. There we go. How are things? I'm still kicking. Still alive despite, you know, the everything of it all. Still kicking is my go-to response to that question now. I think it describes things pretty well. Acknowledge the horrors without actually having to get into them. Yeah, let's go ahead and save this. Art. New folder, hand holding over a railing. There we go. I have to be better about putting all my drawings into new directories every time I start a new one. Because my art directory on my hard drive is a disaster right now. It is so incredibly disorganized and messy. It's just like one big directory of like everything that I've done for the last several years as like a big directory of just stuff. Except for anything related to Rin or Lancer, which has all gone into its own directory. For the most part. To draw ahead at this angle. What the hell? Oh, that is actually real bad. I need to decapitate this. No, wait. We can just go back here. I may need to decapitate her and move the head. Yeah, let's do that. Don't worry, this is a common occurrence on my stream. She'll be fine. There we go. I could have her facing the opposite direction too, but... Did I just forget how to draw, like, faces entirely after all that stuff? I may have. I may have forgotten. This is the problem with using the blender like as reference. The blender is I forget how to do it normally. Or without blender. Right, let's try this again. Sure, whatever. Just spending all that time to make that last drawing perfect. Now I'm just like floundering at the very start of another drawing. Ugh. Feels bad. It's like, have I leveled up as an artist? And the answer is no. No, I have not. I just spent a long time on the last one. That was the secret to making it look cool, was to spend a really, really long time on it. Like, what did we learn from the last one? Aside from the fact that I should just actually take my time with stuff. Maybe I should be taking my time with this. Maybe I should be using Blender to lay out the scene. That was more than 3 weeks. That was a lot more than 3 weeks. That was at least 2 months. No, we spent way longer than 3 weeks on that last on the Junk Raven art. Hey, thanks so much for the follow. There's a mess of hair over there. I cannot remember how human head things work. Humanoid head things. There we go. I think it's a little bit better. It's kind of like a ponytail. Okay. Okay, I think I fixed the head on her. If only I could fix my head. Just kidding, I like it this way. For mine, not. You know what I mean, never mind. Okay, let's at least get a face on her girlfriend here. That's gonna be challenging. Actually, here's what we'll do. We're gonna fill a layer with background. Now we can draw the occluded face without any concerns about like having to make it, match up to the rest of that. So. Oh, we gotta name your heckin' layers. Alright, we're gonna call this, Space Thing in all caps. Thanks. And we also got a... Hada. Alright, so drawing the faces seems easy now. It's like, maybe I just needed the warm-up to shake off all the rust of not having drawn faces for the last while. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. You need to shake off that top layer of rust, apparently, yeah. We're gonna have to get a little bit creative with the masking here to... Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a new group layer, and we're gonna put all this stuff into that group layer, and then we are going to add a transparency mask to that. Actually, first we're gonna include the entire background, I think, in that. Cover up the sketch layer. There we go. And then we're going to add a transparency mask. And then we're going to get rid of all that. Like that. There we go. Bam! Easy peasy. Characters are actually very two-dimensional. You draw your exclusively what? My exclusively what? Oops. Actually, I gotta fix this drop line a little bit. Commissions? I do not do commissions, I'm afraid. My ADHD does not permit it. Besides, I'm pretty happy just drawing gay girls all the time. I think drawing gay girls is a pretty good use of my time, I think. Especially in a world like ours where that kind of stuff is continually, you know, degraded and harassed and looked down on. Should draw gay guys for next April 1st, big buff men. I would under one condition. They would be big buff burly men with very obvious, like, you know, surgery scars, like right there. You can bet my art is always going to be trans inclusive. I'm gonna get like really obvious too, the surgery scars. I will be unsubtle about it. The person who asked the question left the stream. I guess they were dissatisfied with my answer. Ow. I'm really glad Dance with the Dead made it back into the our playlist. The music's so good. I think this is like music that they have done since we had to remove them from the playlist. This is Kiss the Creature. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is one of their newer ones. I think my favorite song from them is still Cold as Hell. It's cold as hell under ice when your frozen tongue spits a thousand lies, speaks a thousand lies. I'll make sure that one gets in the playlist. I don't think we have it in the playlist right now. The music video is the one with the cannibals. At this point, I don't even know how well I can draw guys because I've drawn girls so much. We do an experiment. We're gonna experiment with drawing a dude. We have a big ol' huge chest. And big arms. No, this is not how we do this. I guess even the guys that I draw are gonna have like tiny waists. That might be a problem. Bigger waist. Bigger waist! We're gonna have a very boring pose because I'm not gonna bother doing a really complicated one for this. I just have to draw. I have to draw it the same way I draw girls. Buff. There we go. Okay, now the face. What makes guy faces attractive? Asking for someone who genuinely does not know. Do you have like a really kind of like square jaw down here? Prominent cheekbone. Cool angular hair. It's all spiky. stubble. Nose. Differently shaped nose, right? That looks like a guy, right? Looks like a dude guy, dude face. That's his name. Oh, can't make the hair too long. That's not stereotypical. Actually, I always forget the rib cage is like definitely differently shaped than how I keep drawing it. It's more like it's like one of those challenges where you get someone from like not from the U.S. To draw a map of the U.S. with like the different states and stuff. Thank you so much for the follow, Masquerade Plays. How's it going? All right, there. I think I've proven that I can draw a masculine character, more or less, kind of, sort of, give or take. I don't know. This is a disaster. Thicker lines make them look more masculine, right? Honestly, could have gone a lot worse, considering my handle on anatomy. So, like, I'm gonna call that one a win. Guy, dude, guy, face. There we go. All right, back to the actual art. That was a really square jaw. Here, let's add like big old thick lines all over it, and I can. We'll just leave it there. Adam Jensen-ish vibe. He could probably use more cybernetics then. And some shades. Here, we can add shades. Could see Kiri pivoting to drawing furry twinks part-time. I should probably learn how to draw, like, guy furries. It's like, that ends up the only kind of guy that I can draw is just guy furries. Be oddly appropriate, yeah. Hands are hard to draw, hands are hard to draw. This is my song, hands are hard to draw. Yeah. All right, all right, all right. Calm down about the twinks. Oh my god. Chat's a bit thirsty. A little bit. A little. Y'all really want me to draw dudes? Like... Hey Val, welcome back. Chad is trying to get me to draw guys. So the only thing I managed to pull off was this. Pansexual warrior here in chat. What? I don't know what that is. Everyone said that it looked kind of like Adam Jensen, and so I added shades. Did it look like a reference to something? I don't... Okay, I'm gonna... Hitting the YouTube mad scientist with the trans... The character is transmask, that's why we added the surgery scars. And we can make those a little bit more obvious. They don't just look like a shadow or something. Also, I saw you over on the other chat, Sarah CV. I just want to acknowledge that. I'm sorry, I don't trust YouTube enough to have their chat up on stream, and also we don't have enough room anyway. I guess we could replace the Starbound area with it, but yeah. I don't have Starbound running right now, which is possibly a mistake. What's going on here? This drawing looks like AI slop. There's a whole weird mess going on there. Ugh. I've still never actually been accused of doing, like, AI slop. Which is probably for the best. It's just gonna be really, really funny the day that someone does decide to accuse me of doing AI slop, and then I can just, like, drop the VODs from the streams where I do, like, all of my art on them. Like, boom! the background music was a dramatic stretch, yeah. Unfortunate song title for this one, but I do like the song. Gotta be AI, hands are all messed up. The hands are hard, oh my god. I did see a funny video where, like, one artist decided to troll their community by doing a bunch of, like, a bunch of art that looked like it was AI on purpose, and then, like, pretending to be a new user in their Discord, and then, like, trolling everyone. So they did, like, you know, intentionally doing, like, the wrong number of fingers, making stuff, like, blend into each other that isn't supposed to. Like, if I just had some of the hair kind of... Here. Let's do some fake AI stuff just really briefly. So if I had the hair going, like, kind of like this... You know, and just kind of, like, becoming, like, that strap, kind of blending into it like that. You see a lot of that on, like, AI slop, right? Or having hair strands become a loop. That actually happens IRL though. That's what getting your hair tangled is called. I always draw characters with, like, incredibly straight hair, though, so, like, that kind of rarely happens there. I think a lot of times artists will do things like, and this will be intentional, or artists will do things like have hair that goes out and in, like that. I don't tend to do that much. I haven't been able to figure out how to stylistically integrate that. So I just have hair going off in individual tangents and... But I also don't draw, like, really, really, really long hair. If I drew really, really long hair, it would probably end up something like... Oh, I could do it this time. We could have some hair kind of popping out here and then going back in, right? Like that. But, like, my temptation is really to just do, like, if I'm gonna do something like that, then I'll do probably just that. And leave it there. Actually, no, it'd be coming off at a different angle, more like this. What if we did do really, really long hair for her? Wait a minute. Okay, what if we were, like, serious about this, though? We might want to do, like, really, really long hair. Because long hair is pretty, in my opinion. That looks like a tentacle. There we go. Let's see if we can have some of that hair that goes out and comes back in. Whoop. Whoop. But also goes off to the side. Yeah, no, I cannot make that work, unfortunately. I'm gonna need a lot more practice before I can pull something like that off. I think she does look cool with long hair, though. Yeah, I would have had to do it from the very beginning. Jellyfish girl? And we haven't drawn their lower torsos, so if we wanted to have them be like, we could have one of them be like a Drider, with like a cool like spider body and spider legs, and then the other one can be like a Cecilia with cool like tentacles and stuff. One of them wrapped lovingly around her girlfriend, of course. We could do that. Probably won't. But we could. That would actually be cute. Hold on a second. Do I want to draw a Drider and a Cecilia Yuri? I mean, yes. But, like, right now. Let's finish the upper torsos first. Then we'll decide what kind of monster girls to make them. This is the advantage of being, of just kind of like making stuff up as you go along. I think it's fun. Also something that I couldn't do if I were doing like commissions and stuff. I could make like a robot Drider. Like have a robot giant spider body. Oh, that would be cool. Okay, but like what if, for reals? The Rock is approaching white noise territory. Yeah, that's one song that I might remove from the playlist. As much as I love Violet Pony. I'm still thinking about it. Hey, Ifweed. How's it going? How goes lesbian superpowers? Well, we're considering making them a spider robot girl and a Cecilia, like octopus girl, basically. So it's going about. It's going. It goes. You just start adding like cool like robot mechanical bits in here. You know, just kind of go down like that. And also around her girlfriend. Some like mechanism that goes up to here.
If you've had enough of that, like those experiences happen where, you know, you feel like, oh, something's wrong with me, or I feel like mending that, like unifying the parts of myself has been like a huge
Maybe we should keep this arc kind of normal. I don't know.
That I rejected, and like bringing them back in and being like, no, like you're okay.
We'll keep it normal for now. I have to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna be right back. Alright, I'm back. Serious question, why? Serious question, why what? Why did I have to go to the bathroom? Or why keep it normal? Or... to the bathroom because I had to go to... I had fluids to expunge. Why keep it normal? Normalization of the things in it. Let's... oh, actually, you know what? We're gonna put the girlfriend's hand on the other girlfriend's waist here. So her hand is basically like going like that all the way across. And just to be clear about all the things that we're wonderfully normalizing here, I'm gonna add a little tiny bit of color before we get anywhere else in this, so when I show off the work in progresses, everyone knows exactly where I'm going with this. There we go. Bacon. I mean, like, it's already obvious that they're lesbians or other sapphic, you know, people, but yeah. We'll continue to use my platform to normalize trans people existing and being happy.
And like, you know, up until that point was just like really beating myself up all the time about a lot of stuff. And allowing other people to do it too.
Platonic romantic handholding. It's a little bit more than handholding. And no, it's not platonic. Yeah, no, they are in love with each other in, like, romantically and not platonically. Yep. They are... Yep. They are gay with each other. 100%. These hands look like a disaster. Should probably spend the rest of the art stream trying to clean up the hands. That way when I post the work in progress, people won't think that I, you know, cheated. I remember when I was a little kid, I used to draw people with just like 2 fingers all the time. I remember I was in a class a long time ago in elementary school, and we were looking at some art in some children's book or something, and someone was basically like, "Yeah, they only have like 2 fingers in this art. Their hands are drawn like that." And they were like, "That's okay." And then I think so I started drawing all my stuff like that, because like hands are hard to draw, right? Especially if you're like a child in elementary school. And then people started making fun of me for drawing hands like that. That was mean. Of course, I think those people that were making fun of me didn't have any artistic ability at all, so I should have probably taken that as a bit of, you know, claw hands. Junkraven's got claw hands. Those are not easy to draw. Junkraven's got hands that look like, well, her you know, her subaltern has these, like, she only has 3 fingers, but, like, shoot. Like these kind of, like, segmented things. That's like a Junkraven hand. At least that's how her subaltern looks. Her holographic hand looks a little bit different. It's more a little bit more organic looking. Many of y'all have seen the holographic version of Junkraven, or not many of you have. It's all like scaled and stuff. And feathery. Hams. That looks kind of okay. You can't really count the number of fingers, right? We got 1, 2, 3 fingers, and the next one is probably hidden back there behind another one or something. Yeah, we can add one finger coming through here. These fingers, we're still not going to draw all the fingers. They're just going to be kind of like mushed into the elbow right there. This line doesn't light up anymore. Here, we're going to do this thing again. Edit, fill with foreground? I don't know why that helps me that much, but it does, so. Just being able to, like, separate out whatever I'm currently doing from the rest of the scene.
Elizabeth, check this out.
All the line weights everywhere on this are turbo gunched, so we're gonna have to spend a lot of time probably fixing those up. We'll probably be working on this for the next few streams, I think. Just finish off one drawing, roll directly into the next one. You know how it goes. Or I could just post the work in progress at the end of the thing and call it done. That'd be fine too. I don't have to spend like forever on every single drawing, right? I can just do sketches. I can allow myself to just do sketches. Nope, I set the bar too high. I can't do sketches anymore. Every single one of them has to be up to the standard that I established with the Junkraven art. I'm basically screwed as an artist from now on. Try all of that all over again. I'm making the fingers too thick. Oh, there we go. I've peaked. It's true. I've peaked as an artist. I'll never be able to make good art again because I made the one drawing that was too good. And I don't want to spend 2 months on every single drawing that I do to try to replicate that.
It's fucking Christmas morning.
Not everything needs to be peak. It's true. Sometimes things can be a maxima, or an apex, or a pinnacle.
Hostile care package inbound.
Yeah, I'm falling in love with
Or an ultimate. In Opus that reminds me, I need to play that game. Or Magnum Opus, or wait, what's the name of the Zachtronics game? I need to play that one and apparently, so first of all, I never finished the original game. Second, apparently they released DLC for it. Because Zachtronics is apparently still around, despite having released their last game ever that they'll ever produce ever in the form of Last Call BBS. And they will never produce another game ever again, but they're still making DLC for their games, apparently. Which is fine, because their games are fantastic. I'm not complaining. Running into some issues in Krita where if I try switching the brush colors fast enough, using my foreground background swappy thing, it doesn't actually register for the stroke. Because like if I do this in the middle of the stroke, watch like right here. Okay, so that's me switching. If I do that in the middle of a stroke, it doesn't actually update, right? But if I do it like right after a stroke, then it also doesn't register.
It's so bad, man.
Oh, we gotta wrap up stream. It's about that time. But this is coming along real good, I think. This is not. I'm gonna close that. But this is coming along pretty good, I think. We'll spend some more time on this. Yeah. Let me do one more little detail. We have the trim over here and we don't have it over here, so it's gonna look gross. There we go. Okay, let's figure out someone to raid.
Here's what the experts are saying.
That was a very successful stream. We finished one thing and started another. Nice. I'm gonna hit the render button on that after stream, but
Prepare to be boarded.
I think we are going to raid Lane. Alright, thank you everyone for joining me for another Weekday Morning Art stream. Really appreciate having y'all here. You're awesome and amazing. Hope to see you next time. Take it easy, take care, be kind, show compassion and empathy, and stay safe. And use containers. If you want, I guess. The last part's optional. The containers are optional, everything else isn't. Alright, have a good one everyone. Bye!